Hello and welcome to the Dirty Cleats podcast. This is your host, Tim Costigan. Just coming to you talking about some NBA draft results. Last night was the first night of the draft, round one, and round two was tonight. We got some interesting kind of names popping up, and I've been kind of looking at them and thinking, did they make the right pick or did they not make the right pick? Number one off the board to your Atlanta Hawks was, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, it's French. His name is Zachary Richache. He was number one, and then another Frenchman went number two to the Wizards, and that was Alex Sarr. And then the one that we all got hyped up about and loved, especially some of my local friends from here in Kentucky, number three, the Houston Rockets selected Reed Shepard. That is Jeff Shepard's son. Jeff Shepard was on the national 1998 national team, I think it was, and he was a really good player. His son's just as good as he is, if not better. I think that Reed's going to be a heck of a shooter in the NBA, and the way the league's evolving to the shooters like Curry and the guys like that, like Klay Thompson, that stretch the floor, I think Reed Shepard will make the Rockets really good, but not like some people are saying they're going to win the title next year. Now, that's going a little above and beyond, if you ask me. We can look down here a little further on the list. You can see Rob Dollingham, point guard from Kentucky, went number 8 to San Antonio, to the Spurs. And there was some other names that popped out in my head here. That Jared McCain, came from Duke, and he ended up going to Philadelphia 76ers, the 16th selection. What I thought was really interesting, though, I used to live in Colorado, and this is kind of weird because if you look on here, number 10, Cody Williams for the Utah Jazz, and then number 18 to the Magic, Tristan da Silva, they both went to Colorado Buffaloes. And I'm not even sure, if I'm not mistaken, I don't even think Colorado made the tournament this past year. But two of their guys are going to the NBA. So props to them. If you look down further, there's some other names. Virginia's Ryan Dunn got selected by my Denver Nuggets. Supposedly he's the best defensive player in the draft. Isaac Coulier from USC got picked by the Jazz. Jazz looked like they had a pretty good draft. That was round one. And round two, the Jazz got Kyle Filipowski from Duke, the power forward. And you had some other names on here that were kind of interesting to see that they went off of there. I've heard about this guy, Nikola Jurzic. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. He was from Serbia. He was picked by the Miami Heat. Miami's going to make themselves a good little team pretty soon. As long as they can stay healthy, keep Jimmy Butler on the floor, I think Miami will be a force to be reckoned with. And you got Antonio Reeves out of the University of Kentucky. Got selected by the Magic on the 47th pick, the 17th pick in the second round. Number 47, Reeves went to the Magic. Other than that, the only other one that I can see that really kind of popped out at me was the number 55 pick by the Los Angeles Lakers, and that was somebody named Ronnie James. We know who that is. That might not be the king, but that's the prince, and that can make the king very happy. So you're going to have the king, the prince, and the crew in LA trying to face Boston possibly in the finals next year. You could have Los Angeles and Boston for Los Angeles to tie them, and then following year take the lead from them. Get them Celtics out of everybody's little mind about how good they were when they didn't hardly do anything to win this year. Sometimes in this podcast, the just honest truth is Brian and I say what we feel, and Brian and I will also say what might be right in our mind. It may not be right in your mind. And like, I know Boston's a great team. I give the props where props are given. But Boston also played an 8 seed without the best player, a 4 seed without the best player, and a 6 seed in the Eastern Conference Finals. And to tell you the truth, that does not impress me. When Dallas went in there and knocked off, who first they knocked off the Clippers, and they were the roads, and they were the 4, and Dallas was the 5. Then they knocked off the Thunder, which was the number 1. Then they knocked off the Timberwolves, who were number 3. And then they got to the finals. Well, Dallas was beat up and bruised in the finals, where Boston kind of just skated on in. And it's not their fault of who they play and, whether or not they have to go against a powerhouse or just a team that got lucky and kind of got there. And I get that. But I always judge my championships on, are you beating the teams that you need to beat? Like when the Bengals win the Super Bowl this year, and I'm calling it right now, they win it all with all those receivers that Burrow has, they're going to beat the Chiefs, and they're going to say, like Joe Burrow said before on the podcast, we were built to beat you. And you got to be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo! Who was that, Ric Flair? I mean, you got to just, some people got to feel that they know that this is right, or, feel, yeah, you did beat everybody you needed to beat. Sometimes you get lucky, and that's fine too. But I don't want to ramble on about it. I think that Ronnie James, they did that to make him happy. And Brian and I were talking about this last week. I kind of thought Dallas would be the team to pull the trigger. But with Ronnie's going to Los Angeles and LeBron staying there, they may keep them there together for a couple of years. I wouldn't even be surprised if I don't know how young the other son is, Bryce, but if they got him to come join them and had all three of them. But I don't know how long LeBron could go for, because that's physically demanding. I think that this NBA season is already kicking off to be star-studded. It's going to be fun. I've noticed that the New York Knicks now have 4 of their 5 starters. Now that they got Mikal Bridges, 4 of their 5 starters are actually former Villanova Wildcats. And I think that's fun, too. You keep the guys together from college, you get them back on the same team in the pros, and you have a chance to gel and have chemistry, and bring you back into a fun time when you were playing ball when you were a kid or when you were younger. You know what I mean? You can't tell me that if I'm playing basketball that I'm in the NBA and Brian's in the NBA, that I wouldn't want him on my team. I'll tell you right now, Quincy could rebound. He was a tough little son of a gun. We used to play him in grade school basketball. I played for St. Therese. Brian played for St. Michael's. And Mike Haas wanted no part of Brian. Nobody wanted any part of Brian. Brian would get that rebound no matter what. He would just go get it. And that's what you got to do in life. That's what we like to do on this podcast. Just got to take the bulls by the horns and run with it. I really enjoy doing this podcast. Sometimes it's better for me to do it when I'm talking about myself, because I don't feel nervous and pressured. I just kind of go. But I also like the fact that Brian thought enough of me to ask me to do it with him. And we really like you guys, and we really want to hear some of your inputs. I mean, what you think? What did you think of the NBA draft? Did you guys think that Bronny was a good move for the Los Angeles Lakers? I mean, I do. Did you think that Richache and Sarr were number 1 and number 2? I think all along they were always going to be. But was Reed Shepard going to be that number 3? Honestly, last couple of weeks, yeah, he is. They have the top 3 already planned out. And then Castle, the guard, Stephon Castle, went to San Antonio at number 4. And then they got another guard, Rob Dollingham, like I mentioned earlier, from UK at number 8. So San Antonio just molded themselves a good little team in the process of 2 years, getting their guards and now having Victor Wembanyama. So it's going to be interesting how the league's going to turn around. I really hope that Alex Sarr, the number 2 selection for the Wizards, turns out all right, because they need a lot of help. They are really bad, and I don't know what they got to do. They got to figure out ways to bring in free agents. They got to keep drafting like that, because I think he'll be a heck of a player. I also hope the same for Zach Edey and the Memphis Grizzlies, because John Morant needs to stay out of trouble. It's as simple as that. If you're getting paid millions of dollars to play basketball, stay out of trouble. And he needs to be able to mentor Edey. And if he doesn't mentor Edey, Edey's not going to know which way to turn when he's confused about the offensive scheme or defense. He needs to know that Ja's going to be backing him. And if Ja's not paying attention to what's going on the court and his teammates, then that might make Edey's road in the NBA a little harder. And so they get some other players in there. They're the 2 that I looked at the most, that I was like, I don't know, are they going to be okay or not? I love the selections that the Jazz made. Those guys, they made some good picks. And I love the selections that the Orlando Magic made. I think Orlando literally is like on the cusp of winning the whole entire thing. I mean, they lost to Cleveland, I believe it was, in Game 7, when if they would have beat them, they might have been taking out the Celtics. I don't know. I mean, you don't know anything. I really, really like Philadelphia, and I think Philadelphia, when healthy, is capable of beating anyone. I'm trying to remember who was the guy from Philadelphia that I just mentioned. Let me pull it back up again. I think this is round 2. He was in round 1. Round 1. No, who it was. Let me see who it was. Yeah, Jared McCain from Duke. That is what Philadelphia needs. A player like that that's unselfish and a ball distributor, knows how to knock it down. Compared with putting him with Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid and the rest of the players they have on that team, I might as well start calling Philadelphia the champs. I mean, I like a lot of those picks. Nikolai Topic, the one from Serbia that ended up going to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're putting themselves a good little ball team together too. I also hope that Tajan Saloon from France, he's a power forward. I hope he gets some guys around him because I don't honestly even know who he is, but he must be good if he got picked 6 overall. He's from France, and he is going to the Hornets, but that's another team that just needs some help, man. They need an identity. I think that some of these teams, once they get a couple guys from free agency or in next year's draft, could turn their whole career around. Not career, but their whole team around. Sorry about that, not career. I think that I just love talking about the NBA, dude. It's just so fun. I hope you guys enjoy our podcast as much as we do. If you ever want to reach out and let us know what we're doing or what you want us to talk about, we could do that. I mean, throw a comment up there, throw a like, drop a follow. I don't know all that stuff. Brian's more into that than I am. Just listen to us, and we will do what you want us to do. I mean, it's fun. It's really fun to do this podcast. But I'm not going to ramble all night. I'm going to go take a nap because I'm tired. So this is Tim signing off, letting you know that the NBA season is actually not over. It's just officially begun. See you guys later. Have a good one.